welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replay. My name, as always, is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Davor SRB. That's Davor SRB, and he's driving the E75 on a standard battle on the Hidden Village. Hidden Village? Hidden Village. E75 being the tier 9 heavy tank for the Germans. Big, slow, lumbering beast. If you watched any of the live stream that I do with Circonflexes, then you know that I really like the E75. Really enjoy playing this tank, especially just because of its sheer level of armor, its hit points, and its ability just to turn the tide of battles. Its ability to soak up unprecedented amounts of damage. You might think the KV Fortress, that being the KV4, is good at taking hits and absorbing damage, but this thing is just unreal, especially when in the hands of a decent driver. So, enough waffling on, onto this replay. Davor going to be heading along the northern road here, being a heavy tank. Going to be trying to get to these rocks on the right hand side. It's about 50-50 between the two bases, so oftentimes you get a lot of tanks facing off against each other just on the other sides of the rocks. Couple of enemy tanks got in there first, though. You can see a T-54 and an IS. Oh, gets a very nice hit on that T-54 there. Finally gets spotted out himself and then takes cover behind the rocks, gets his front plate nice and hidden, and then angles the side of his armor. As you see there, the IS just making no impact whatsoever. T-32 comes into view and he gets a good hit on him. T-34 comes around the corner, but the nice sharp angle of that side armor with the position he's in means he just bounces that. This T-34 looks pretty hungry, mind. Unfortunately for him, he's looking in the wrong direction, and Davor's able to get a good shot through the drive wheel there, takes out his track and gets some damage on him. T-34 only able to put a shell into the rock there. See the T-54 just on the other side of the rock, just bouncing on the front plate of the E75. IS comes around the corner, but he doesn't have the penetration to get through that mighty front plate there. T-54 either found himself a weak spot there or switched to gold rounds to try and get some damage on the E75. Takes another big hit in the face. IS not really able to do anything but knock his tracks off. Davor having a really good time of this. Got his tank nice and well angled behind the rocks here. His shots just fly in from everywhere. Artillery getting some good splash damage on that IS, as well as taking out that T-34. IS isn't as well defended as he thinks he is. Gets a good hit through the side of that IS, and all the IS can do in return is just take his tracks off. Just angling his turret there against the T-54. Got to be careful of that one, that you don't give anybody the flat front plate of your turret. Davor just made a little bit of a mistake there. Fires a shot a little bit too early and just hits that one in the rock. T-54 deciding that it's probably time to just get the hell out of here. Unfortunately, doesn't back off far enough, and Davor's able to take him out just as the artillery shell lands on his head as well. So that is the rocks all dealt with, but to be honest, the enemy hadn't committed that many tanks to this area. So there they are. As you can see, most of the enemy tanks actually down here in the little ravine trying to find a shot on someone. Gets a good high roll on the side of that M103 there. KV3 realises what's going on. Unfortunately, doesn't have the gunpowder to be able to get through the front of the E75. As you can see, the E75 considerably heavier than that KV3, as he takes a hell of a lot of damage from that ram there. Finds the rear of an IS-3 here. Problem with the enemy team is they didn't respond to the threat which was looming. They could easily see that their allies had lost the battle for the hill, but nobody really changing positions to do anything about that, and as a result they get flanked out in the open here, and the allied team able to just whittle them down. This M103 is reset to be facing in this direction. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the gunpowder to be able to get through the front of this E75, and then Davor going to come in, just rams him, takes him out, and picks up kill number 3. That's 5,500 points of damage so far, and the allied team is well poised just to take this victory, already winning at 12 kills to 7. The enemy team only has the artillery and 2 low-tiered tank destroyers, both being tier 7. The allied team has a good arrangement of tanks left, so it's just going to be a case of hunting down the remaining guys and just take those out. Spots out a souffle. Can he get a shot on him? Yes, he can. Kill number 4, and almost 6,000 points of damage. Shot lands there, Not sure. I don't think that was from the artillery. If the artillery had hit them through the side there, probably would have done a little bit more damage. So that was probably the SU-122-44 with that awesome cannon that the KV-1S gets, just with a slightly faster reload. And there we go, the SU is up on the ridge there, finds the enemy's artillery. This should just be a case of letting his reticule close in, taking the shot and picking up kill number 5 and over 6,000 points of damage. So absolutely awesome replay there from Davo SRB, showing the power of the E75 and how many shots it is able just to turn aside. Also nicely winning that battle on the road in the north there and flanking around the sides and rear of the enemy to help his team secure a very good victory. So thank you very much for sending that one in. Stick around because as always the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user MPH. That's MPH, and he's driving the IS-4 on a standard battle on the mines. IS-4 being a tier 10 heavy tank for the Germans. Used to be a tier 9 heavy tank, but it got boosted up at some point in the past. Can't remember exactly the patch number. But yeah, it used to be a tier 9 heavy tank back before there were 2 tier 10 heavy tanks for each line. Has a cheeky little shot at that bat chap rushing, but never going to hit that fully on the move with the bat chap moving at full speed. The gods of random would really have to be on his side there. So it looks like the enemy is pretty heavily pushing the hill here. You can see they've already got 4 tanks up there. Well, they've now got 3 well, no, now back to 4. They've got 4 tanks up there. The T-54, that 121, the T-44 and the 50B. Although it looks like the 50B has been eliminated already. So I was going to say, probably not a very even trade to take the hill, but losing your tier 10 heavy tank for it. But it looks like the Allies have also lost a tier 10 medium tank for the push. So it looks like a pretty even trade so far. T-71 hangs around a little bit too long. He's not really going to be able to do much to an IS-4, especially considering he was shooting at the side armor, and the side armor of the IS-4 is actually thicker than the frontal armor. So when you come to try and side scrape with this thing, you do it at a much higher angle, just to try to lure people into firing at your stronger armor. T-44 not pulled back far enough at all and takes a big shot through the front there. I actually think the FV, the British tier 10 tank destroyer, shot earlier there and just hit the dirt to the side of MPH. So he's doing a really good job so far of just playing peekaboo with these tanks here. Again, T-71 thinking he can do more than he can. Doesn't really have the penetration to be able to do much to an IS-4. But still being a plucky little light tank and trying to do something. There we go, finally able to take out that T-44, and that looks like a good chunk of the tanks that went up this ridge, especially the ones that they saw, are now eliminated. Doesn't manage to put a shot through the front of that Troll T-28 prototype. Let me tell you, the armor on that thing is just absolute pain in the arse to try and penetrate. But it looks like the enemy team has quite a sizable tank destroyer force just camped on that ridge there. Waffenträger E100 firing off multiple shots into the fog of war there. Not sure I agree with that. He could have probably used his clip a little bit better there, but just firing off his entire clip into the fog of war. The FV comes around the corner but gets shot in the face for his trouble. Still trying to line up a shot with somebody. Got to be careful with this thing, because you really, when you fire off a shot, you really want it to do damage, just considering how long your reload time is and how much damage you actually do with that shot. Multiple shots coming in now from the ridge. As you can see, the Waffenträger E100 gets himself taken out by the artillery. And MPH decides that enough is enough and starts to make his way up to the ridge, up onto the hill. A lot of the enemy's tank destroyers are spotted out here. And as you can see, there's still this 121, the T-54, up on the hill, dueling with this IS-7. MPH going to come and give him some support. Takes out the T-54, not after the IS-7 gets punched in the face though, and that 121 just decides that he's not going to be able to hold the ridge against two Tier 10 heavy tanks, especially not with the IS-4 having almost full hit points. So just decides to leave. A little bit surprised that the enemy's heavy tank, the E100, is camped on that ridge. Actually, no, I'm not, because nothing surprises me anymore in this game. Oh, the FV just whiffs his shot there. Puts it straight into the dirt. And like I said earlier, you really can't afford to miss with that tank. With the length of its reload and the amount of damage that it does do. Gets a really good hit through the side of the turret of the Löwe there. And as you can see, the enemy team still just refusing to leave their base. Stubbornly camping right at the back there. And if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that camping that hard very, very rarely pays off. So spots out the enemy's artillery here. Doesn't look like he's noticed that one. He probably would have had a shot at it, although to be honest, getting the Waffenträger E100 out of the game, probably the safer move at the moment, especially if he was loaded. Gets shot in the face by the GW100, but is able to give him one in return. E100 did do a sizable chunk of damage there, though. It did about 900 damage. And there's that pesky T28 from earlier. Looks like that shot may have actually missed, as we saw something impact in the dirt there. If he can just get his gun to reload in time and then get some buy some gun depression from somewhere, maybe he'll get a shot on this FV, but the FV is looking right at him. So got to play this one carefully, as a good shot from him may be enough to take out MPH, although he's left the top of his turret exposed, and he's able to get a shot straight through there and do another big chunk of damage. He's done an excellent job of taking this position on the hill and then flanking around the Löwe and that FV 183 on the ground there. Just consistently putting shots through their side armor, just like that E100, which for some reason is a well-armored heavy tank, is camping right at the back in a sniper position. Not really sure about that one. This FV has got no time left, and he gets himself taken out as MPH decides to move down from the hill and start attacking the enemy team. There we go. Takes out the Löwe and picks up kill number 6, and then starts to make his way towards the enemy base and that E100. Although the E100's only got 200 hit points left, so he's not going to survive very much longer. Especially when MPH puts a shot through his side armor and picks up kill number 7. The enemy's only got that 121 left, the tier 10 medium tank, and as you can see, he's going for a counter base capture. And for some reason, the Waffenträger E100 and that FV215B183, to give it its full name, are capping the base, even though this game is absolutely won. Although, to be honest, if they weren't capping and MBH didn't get back in time to take out the 121, then this would unfortunately be a defeat. So just going for the safe option here. Unfortunately, though, it does deny MPH his final kill, kill number 8, which would have been a Radley Walters. But still an absolutely outstanding game, picking up 7 kills, 6,700 points of damage, doing a fantastic job of flanking around the side of the enemy and landing all of the shots. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. Hit like or favourite if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment in the comment section below letting me know exactly what you thought of the two replays in today's video. And if you're not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button for more content like this in the future. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.